Ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
Well, actually, I live in Delaware now, so does that make me a Delawarean?
Singing girl.
You know, Beyonce is my friend in my head. Jay my people sometimes, too.
Yeah. I mean, like, be true, man.
You know, when I was a kid, I had a imaginary enemy. Like, does that make me crazy?
Life as P, presented by Say What Radio.
Hello. Welcome. This is Life as P. I'm your host, Phoenix Ash, and my voice sound extra deep. I woke up not that long ago, and over the years, I feel like my voice just get deeper and deeper in the morning. Also, too, this type of weather, you know what? I need to stop saying this type of weather because I really feel like I suffer from allergies all year round. There's always a time that's worse than another time, but I feel like there's constantly a battle, constantly some sort of congestion, headache, something. I know I should probably see a specialist instead of my regular doctor, but who got time? I know I don't got time to die, so I should probably make time. But y'all pray for me on that one. Anyway, if you have never joined us before, thank you so much for giving us a shot. Thank you for whoever recommended you, or if you're just streaming on your devices and you're just like, let me listen to this. Let me see what she's talking about. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you are a repeat listener, hey, child, what's up? You already know what it is. You know what's going on. Okay. I'm coming off the high of celebrating my daughter's 4th birthday. Guys, you don't know. I have to tell you, for people who have not listened to the podcast before, every year when her birthday comes, it almost brings me to tears because I remember the journey that I took to have her. And we're still on the journey for her to become who she's destined to become. But just to get her here was such an amazing feat. You know, I've said it before, Sadia is my 7th pregnancy, 8th baby, and she's my only survivor. And I wasn't ready for her. I sure wasn't. The year before I had her in 2015. In 2014, I lost twin girls to preterm labor. So I had to give birth to twin girls that didn't make it. They were born too early. In December of 2014, so December of that same year, I lost my son to preterm labor. He was born too early. So by the time the new year was rolling around, I was really in an emotional, crisis, I guess to say. And I didn't know the meaning of anything. I didn't know what life had to offer me. I could not fathom why I kept losing my children, why it seemed that, I couldn't get to the doctor in enough time to get a cerclage. And for those of you who don't know what that is when they sew your cervix so that you could try to keep the baby in. But I had those planned and I still just couldn't seem to get it at the right time in order to save my pregnancy. I don't produce progesterone, or I do, but in very, very little amounts. And that's a hormone needed to sustain your pregnancy. And couldn't get that right. Couldn't get the timing right of when they had to switch me over to progesterone injections. And, being late a week, impacted my pregnancy, where I was going into labor early. And I'm talking about full labor, water break, all of that. When I had the twin girls, I had an epidural and it only worked on the left side of my body. So the right side of my body felt everything that was happening. And it was such a complicated labor because I didn't even have the babies at the same time. One was born in the morning. Another one was born in the afternoon. So they were born several hours apart. And it was a whole mess. The placenta wouldn't come out. It just was an extremely painful and traumatizing experience. But I was so I can't, I gotta get pregnant right away. And then that's when I got pregnant with my son. And, of course it was against doctor recommendations. They said don't get pregnant that soon. But I did. And, unfortunately, I couldn't save him either. And I tried to not do I'm not going to get the stitch and I'm not going to get the flu shot and all of that. And it just couldn't save him. So again, I had him in December. His birthday was December 8th. And my birthday, if you guys don't know, is December 16th. So it's coming up. So that was a tough holiday season. And I swear they had just given us the okay to have sex. I swear. I feel like we might have only had it just once. But 3 months after having my son, I'm going to the doctor to get a breast exam. And, they have the form that they fill out and, just want to make sure that you're not pregnant. And at the time, I was, I believe, 2 days late on my menstrual. And I was no, I know I can't be literally to be honest, I probably couldn't even tell you if we had sex. I mean, of course we did, but I totally was no, there's no way. First of all, prior to the twins and everything, I was having a hard time trying to get pregnant for years unless I was on some type of medication. So I just was there's no way. But I'm 2 days late. And, I've already had 3 babies last year. So might as well be safe than sorry and go ahead and let you give me a pregnancy test. And then you can go ahead and give me the breast exam. So he gave me the pregnancy test and then came out and was like, I'm sorry, we can't do the breast exam because you're pregnant. And they thought that would be beautiful news to me. And in true transparency, I bawled. I cried. I was like, no. I am not ready. My husband and I had agreed that we would take a break from trying. We would reevaluate what it was that we were seeking, try to figure out how to get ahead of whatever was causing these preterm labors, and really just stop being in a rush and just take our time to truly understand what our situation was and how to handle it. Not to mention at the time I was starting a new job, and that job, I don't know, when you work for a lot of health companies, for whatever reason, there's a delay in benefits and so forth. So I wasn't going to have these great benefits that I had at the previous job, and I wasn't going to be there long enough to get maternity leave. So everything was just what? My whole life was what is happening? It was just, I don't know, breaking apart in pieces. And honestly, I never forgot. I got up and I said, you know what? I don't know why I'm stressing, because I don't make it to the end anyway. And I was ready to claim defeat over the whole situation, because defeat was all I knew. Defeat was still in my spirit. I was still healing emotionally. I can't even say I was still healing. I had not even started the process of healing yet. And I was finding out about this pregnancy. I was just what is going on? And so, needless to say, she was my only child that made it to, I was 38 and a half weeks when I had Sadia. And she's just so amazing, not just because of that portion of the journey, but when I went into labor with her, my water never broke. So this was new, that my water never broke, but I knew this pain. I knew these intervals. And I was nah, this is labor. I'm going into labor. I don't care what y'all say. This is labor. And I got to the hospital and they was you've been 4.5 weeks for about, not 4.5 weeks. You've been 4.5 centimeters for about 9 days. You're only at 4 3/4 right now. So, they were just convinced that I was not ready to be at the hospital. Never mind the fact I had her 2 hours after I arrived at the hospital, but, and not because they induced me, because I begged. I did beg. I was well, whatever's happening. Okay. I'm scheduled to be induced November 16th. That is tomorrow. So, at 8 o'clock in the morning. We are here at 2 something in the afternoon. You can just go ahead and induce me now. You know, you talking about I'm not sitting still, whatever. You can't give me any pain medicine, but I can probably sit still long enough for you to give me epidural. I can do that. Get a tracing on this baby and give me epidural. And they were like, we have to get approval. Go get that. Go get that approval. And I remember saying, oh my God, something is pushing. I am not helping it. But I felt like something popped. And the lady like rolled her eyes. And she was like, one resident was like, check her. And the other resident was like, I literally just checked her like a minute ago. And she was only about 5 1/4. First of all, that meant I was progressing. Okay. That means that something was happening. So check me again, daggone it. So she rolled her eyes, she checked me again, and then she whispered in my ear, oh my God, you went from 5 centimeters to fully dilated in literally 2 minutes. All the sirens went off. They were screaming, labor, labor, labor. So if you ever see that in any of my books, that is like, it was labor, labor, labor. That was how it was. All these sirens going off. And then it's like, you know, somebody came back and was like, we got the approval to induce her. And they're like, too late. So they're trying to like calm me because they're like, we cannot give you epidural. It's too late. But we were going to work this out naturally. And it was just like, what? Oh my God. And it was just a hectic, they never even put me in a delivery room. I was still in triage. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? And my husband, he's like, he doesn't know what to do. He calls his sister, and his sister's in OB, but she's in another state. So she's on speakerphone, and she talks to me, and she's like, hey, remember the last time? Because I had, this wasn't the first child that I had labored without epidural. And she was like, remember, you said pushing alleviates the pain. And I was like, yeah. She's like, well, push. So I said, okay. So I held my breath and I pushed real hard one time. I took a breath. Then I pushed again real hard another time. And then she came out. But my sister-in-law didn't know. So she was like, all right, you ready to push again? And we was like, nah, the baby's out. But we got to go. So my husband at the time like rushed out and followed the doctors because they rushed the baby out. And I'm like, yo, I don't hear her crying. Like, what's happening? I don't hear her. Nobody laid her on my chest. Nobody gave us that, moment to bond. So what's happening? And nobody would answer me. So the doctor who was on call is in there and she's like, I just want you to focus on me. She's like, I'm going to give you some stitches or whatever. And, just focus on me. But I could not focus on her. I prayed. I had to talk to God because I was like, I don't know what's happening. And I'm tired. And, I, of course, will walk whatever journey is laid out in front of me because I don't know what's on the other side of it. I don't know what victory looks like, what victory feels like. And I want to know what it is. So I will do that. But if I have any say in this whole situation, I am tired. And I would really love it if she survived and I was able to help her thrive. And if you would just allow her to bless us with her presence and just give us this chance to do right by you and to do right by her. That's if I have a say in a situation. So I was very excited when they rolled her in my room and her big old eyes were staring at me through the incubator walls. And I just was like, oh my God. So basically what happened was the thing that I heard pop was not my water breaking, but the sac detaching. And I gave birth to the sac, and Sadia was born fully in her sac. They had to break the sac in order to take her out. She was so blue that she was purple. Her eyes were closed. She was not breathing. She had no oxygen. So they rushed her to peds to basically resuscitate her and put her on these breathing machines. And she was on this big old machine to help her breathing. And when they finally got me in the room, they came in and they said, we're going to take off this big machine because she's not happy. She's breathing on her own, but she's yanking this thing out her face and we're just afraid she's going to hurt herself. So we're going to put her on a smaller tube-like machine so that, she can be a little more comfortable. And I was just like, okay. And I smiled because I was like, that's my feisty baby. Man, she got here. Her and God got her here because there's no good in the equation. And by the end of the night, about midnight, they came back into my room and said, listen, we're just going to take her off the breathing machines altogether because she is still not happy. She's still yanking this thing out and she ain't stopped breathing on her own yet. And so we just want to trust. And I was like, go ahead, trust, take it off because she determined she don't need it. Take it out. She's trying to tell you, I don't need this mess. I got this now. I'll take it from here. And sure enough, she took it from there. She ain't stopped breathing yet. Despite the many nights that, like, if I didn't hear her breathe when she was sleeping, child, I'd be up all night, ear to her chest, like, hand on her chest, trying to see if it's going up and down, make sure she's breathing. Sometimes, like, if I didn't hear her, I would tell her as she was falling asleep, breathe, don't hold your breath, breathe. And she would go, okay, mom. Okay, and that's, as you know, that's after she was talking. So I was paranoid for a long time. But, you know, she was like, I got this. And I remember going to see her in the NICU because they had to keep her for 5 days. They said, we got to keep her because the amount of time she went without oxygen, she has a very she's very likely to have some type of brain damage. But when I went down there, it was like, she's passing all her tests. She's fine. She can hear. She can react. She is actually exceptionally strong. And not just in spirit, but like physically. The nurse was like, I want to show you something. And she was like, I'm about to give her a shot. Now watch what she does. So she went to give her a shot and Sadia grabbed hold on her pointy finger. And she was like, this girl's grip is so strong that I literally like have to wait for her to let me go in order for me to give her this shot because I don't want to hurt her. And I don't want her to pull it out. And she really has a good grip on my finger. And I was like, you know, you tripping. And she's like, no, come look. And this girl was holding on for dear life. Like, lady, I ain't ready for you to stick me. Hold on. Okay. She was a couple days old. Got some fire. She got some fire. She's born from some ashes. Yo, she's a true phoenix. She is a true phoenix. She got some fire. Reborn in every situation. Reborn. And she's just so amazing. And you know, she heard my voice and I was like, Zadia, let go. Let her give you the shot. And you know, the lady peeled her fingers off and she didn't grab again. She let the lady give her a shot, which is crazy because to this day, she takes shots so easily when she goes to the doctor. She don't cry, whine, nothing. It might sting a little. She might, and that's it. It was just crazy. Yo, I just love her. So anyway, I'm on a super high to celebrate her 4th birthday. I'm amazed at everything she could do. I have no idea if it's normal, above normal, advanced. Everything to me is amazing. Her memory is ridiculous. You know, she's so incredible. Which is totally not even the point of what I wanted to talk to you about, but how can I not let that point, like, out? It can't just sit. It's take me over. But at the same time, it does kind of tie into my point because I was thinking about some stuff and, you know, encountering some issues at my day job and people who are noticeably jealous of just everything and everyone. Like, not necessarily me or what I do, but just everything and everyone. And always, you know, talking about how they have all these ties within a particular community and they have all these ties to the church. And I'm like, this is how you represent your church? You're just jealous all the time and you're petty and you're childish. And I just don't get it that, you know, like what, unless that's the way it goes for you and your people. But I think about, you know, what comes before you. So what kind of reputation have you built that what's the message that enters the room before you do? Because just telling you Sadia's childbirth story, before she enters the room, people sense her resilience. If anybody has heard about what she's made it through and just even gotten a glimpse of who she is, the way she climbs, jumps, falls, gets up, dusts herself off, keep going. There's a story of her resilience that enters the room before she does. People have heard about her. People know who she is. And I'm not even talking about like, oh, she's like mini famous. I'm just saying that like her story is so one of a kind, but at the same time, not. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many similar stories, but she is who she is. She's very much an individual. And even if you don't know, in school, I go to pick her up from school, and kids of all ages, hi, Sadia, I'd be like, how you know these 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds? Like, what's happening? Where do you be? Like, you were too young to roam the halls. Like, you're not eating lunch with these folks. What is happening? But they're all very excited over her, which is joyous for me because she don't have any siblings her age. Most of her cousins are a lot older than her. So, to be surrounded by other children and play, and people are really excited over her. And, I love when she comes home and she tells me stories of her friends and she sounds excited over them, because I'm like, yes, I love the exchange of love in your life. I'm not so happy when kids like bite her and stuff like that, because I will step to a kid and be like, don't put your mouth on her ever again. Which I had to tell a little boy the other day. Don't put your mouth on her at all, for nothing. But, I love her excitement. And then I love the fact that she still needs her alone time. And I don't know if it's because she's an only child. She's not really an only child. She has an older sister, but her older sister is 21 and lives in Texas. So, but if she's spending a lot of time at home alone, in terms of like not other kids around, but she needs her alone time. Like, even in school, they're like, she kind of needs a moment sometimes to just sit by herself and do some artwork. She loves to do art. So I love the complexities of her, because I can see who she is forming and developing, and it's just so intriguing. But her story of resilience, it passes on from class to class. No matter where she goes, no matter who's her new teacher, they know, man, Sadia is a tough one, and so it walks before her. I was talking to my manager at my day job, and one day she said to me, I appreciate your integrity. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter who's acting what way or saying what thing, but, you always try to be balanced when you give your feedback. You always try to say, well, okay, I could acknowledge this portion about myself, or I can understand this. However, this behavior is still unacceptable and not appropriate. And we need to find a way to address it as a group. So not to, you're still trying to worry about how not to make someone stand out for negative behavior. And you're still trying to even out the feedback so that they don't feel attacked. You're still trying to get along or be a resource for this person, despite the fact that they have resources they won't offer you. And I want to say, not to toot my own flute, but I'm going to go ahead and toot it if that's what it sounds like. But there's many circles, many job circles, as well as personal circles, where my integrity walks in the room before I do. People know that I have integrity. People know that I live by a code. I laugh with my girlfriend, Butterfly Brooks. I laugh because she laughs and says it's a G code. You live by a G code. Because I always say, I love a man with a G code. You got a G code. Like, that's what's up. But she says, I got a G code. I live by it. She's like, you live by a G code, yo. P. And I love it. And I giggle a little because I love that she feels that way about me. And I love that people think that about me, because I do live by a code. There are a set of standards that I stick to. There are a set of moral beliefs that I try to bring to the forefront whenever I'm dealing with anyone. And there's a fairness that I try to attack every situation with, where, yes, there's going to be favor in things that I want or desire or people I love. But at the same time, I'm going to try to view things from as many angles as I can see. And not from every angle, but as many angles as I can see. Because sometimes some angles I just can't perceive. I just can't see it. So, and I'm learning to accept that about myself. So I feel like my integrity, enters the room before I do. And I just want to know, like, what's entering the room before you do? There's resilience, there's integrity. But this girl in my job, her pettiness and her jealousy enters the room before she does. There are people who have not had much experience working with her who will leave the site saying, something feels off and I don't understand what is her gripe. with her partner because you can feel the tension, the difference, the jealousy. You can feel it. And, me, I'm like, oh my God, am I radiating anything because I'm trying to be fair? It's like, no, but you can feel it from her side. And they don't know what the gripe is. They don't know what the jealousy is. They don't know what the disgust is. They don't know. And so it just made me curious that, are we aware? Are we working on the thing that we want to speak for us before we enter the room? Because something may speak for us. Now, there are times when there's nothing, people will wait till they meet you. But, we live in a society where people prejudge. People judge based upon things they've heard, based upon what's ever going around in the rumor mill, based upon whatever whispers are in their circle. They go based upon that. So I just want to know what is that thing about you? What speaks for you before you get there? Is it defeat? Because there's people that I've met that, based upon how they live or what choices they make or what things they say about themselves or what things they whine or cry about or what things they keep talking about ain't right. Those things enter the room before you do, because those are the things that you're giving your energy to. Those are the things that most topple your mind, that enters the room before you do. I also know people who things are never going right for them, but they still praise God, or they still, look for the light in the situation. They still like, something's got to give. There has to be a way, and they're still searching for that way. And, that enters the room before they do. So, those are people who they get a helping hand out of nowhere. It seems like, no matter how much I struggle, there's always someone who just boom, jumps in and helps me. And, because their determination and perseverance enters the room before they do. It's a spirit. That spirit enters the room before they do. So I want to know if you're thinking about what spirit you're cultivating, what thing that you're putting your life and your energy to walk into the room before you do, because that's going to greet the people you need to greet. That's going to shake the hands that you need to shake. People not even going to know why they moved a certain way because of you. But you have power in that. You have the ability to motivate, mold, and cultivate that. You have the power to change what it is that's entering the room before you do. That's why so many people pray before they enter a room, before they go into a big presentation, or before they meet with someone they deem important. Because they're like, I had stuff going on prior to, and I need to like cleanse my energy real fast. I need to, level set. I need to get my head straight. I need to get out of that negative space so I can enter this new room with new energy and new spirit, because something is going to enter the room before I do. Something is going to create a space that I'm going to walk into, and I just want them to see light. I want them to see someone that they want to help, someone that they want to do business with, someone that they want to engage with, someone that they want to connect to. You have power in that. You can change that. You can design that. It doesn't have to be your downtrodden. It doesn't have to be your defeated mentality. It doesn't have to be, I'm struggling. I don't have enough. I can't seem to figure it out. This is a bind. I can't see the way out. That doesn't have to be what walks in the room before you do. However, if that's what you're focusing on and what you're putting your mind to, and the only thing that you can see, that's the only thing people will see about you. So I want us to be intentional with the spirit that we mold and shape and birth to walk into the room. What is walking into the room before you do? What is speaking on your behalf when your mouth is closed? What can be, and not everyone is perceptive, so not everyone's going to pick it up, but something in that room, even right outside the room, on the other side of the door, after you've walked through, you've worked the room, and then you've left. Sometimes it's not until you get onto the other side of the door, but you created an aura, a spirit, something. It's talking for you. It's connecting for you. It's networking for you, but you get to birth it. You get to design it. You get to create it. So what is it that you're creating? What is it that you're sending out on your behalf? I just want us to think about that, because I think it's important. I'm learning. It's important. I'm grateful for whatever it is that I figured out a while ago that built the reputation of integrity, or even resilience, or love, or power, or calmness. People say you have such a calm spirit. I'd be like, word, me? Dang, that's awesome. because I lived a life of trauma for a very long time. And I struggle to see myself as calm or myself as level-headed, but I work hard at being so because I feel like I think straight when I'm calm. I think that if you get overexcited too quickly, that you don't strategize properly, that you don't see the big picture. And I'm constantly looking at the big picture and making, small sacrifices in order to get the big gain or moving a certain way because I'm gonna be honest, I'm trying to avoid consequences as much as I can, like harsh consequences. I'm like, nah, I don't want to live like that. I don't like to be sad. I don't like to be immobilized. So I have to figure out how to not be that way. And I have to fill my life with as much joy and as much things as, possible to, and when I say things, I mean things that I'm doing or things that I'm passionate about, in order to alleviate spending too much time in despair. I don't want to do that. I want to live a life of joy and happiness and love. I love love. No matter how many times love has hurt me, I love love. And always believe that a true love is out there. And oh my God, when I had my daughter, the way she loves me, I'm like, girl, this is the kind of love when I was a child, like going through all the trauma, losing my parents and all of that. Like this was the love I was needing. She had like just refilled the cup all over again. So, but there are things that walk in the room before you do. And I just want to know, what is it? And if you're paying attention to what that is, and if you're actually making an effort to mold it and design it and using your power. That's my soapbox. That's what I'm saying on the box today. If you would like to hear any past episodes, please check out past episodes of Life is P. If you feel like I'm too heavy and you want to laugh at some stuff, please check out Say What Radio. That is the network I'm on. And they have a show that's Say What Radio. And it's hilarious. They go over like current events, but it's funny. I love the exchange. I love power exchanging with you guys. So if I'm your cup of tea, great. I love it. Come back. Hey, repost, retweet, share with your people. If you want to check out any of my work, I'm an author. Did I say anything about writing today? I don't know, but I have to promote. So I'm telling you, I'm an author. If you want to check out, I write fiction stories, y'all. I have a couple of nonfiction, but fiction is where my heart is at. So please pick up my book, Cookies and Crumbles. That is my latest book. It is on Amazon as well as Kindle. If you want to pick up the book before that, that is Soil Sheets. That's also available on Amazon and Kindle. My very first novel, In Her Makeup, is a standalone novel, and it's available on Amazon Kindle as well as Audible and Apple Books. I would much appreciate if you take a listen, if you read, do all of that. Please make sure you leave a review. I don't care if all you do is just rate it and then cancel because you don't feel like writing a review. Like rate it, review it, whatever. I could use all the support I can get. I'm on Be Love Publications. If you want to follow Be Love Publications or BLP in Facebook groups or on Instagram, you can get a whole bunch of sneak peeks. If you're an avid reader, you'll also see posts from my sister authors as well as their sneak peeks. It's a really fun group to be a part of. If you want to join Phoenix Fireflies, and it's Fire, F-I-Y-A-H, Flies on Facebook. That is my reader group. Jump on in. We have a good time. Sometimes we host like author takeovers. People be getting in there. It's really fun. I just really enjoy the community. And if that's your thing and you're looking for something that's like not going to drain the life out of you, but possibly give you a little bit of life back, Phoenix Fireflies is a place for you. But again, check out my books on Amazon, Kindle. I'm author Phoenix Ash. That is I is her. Pick it up. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Until next time when we can exchange power. Peace.